Well, this is part two, right? I already mentioned all this. So lights are important because with 5 lights the trailer looks much better. It's not an overkill, but 3 lights is really, kind of stupid. So now I have 5 on my flatbed and I really love it. Now the floor, aluminum floor, is much lighter and actually stronger than regular wood. And I just noticed that I won about 500 pounds by using aluminum floor versus the standard Apatong floor. And then you add these nailers and tie downs. Of course, winches are standard sliding or fixed, and then I just like these in-floor chain tie downs. They're really helpful, but you don't want too many of them because if the chain gets loose, it can unhook itself. So I really like using stake pockets, to secure my chain. But anyway, so I sent this to a couple of dealers, and they sent me some spec sheets. And of course, one thing you should know about, when you spec a transport truck or a transport trailer is that it's all customizable. They can do whatever you want, and I always recommend speccing a new trailer so that the factory builds exactly, for you. But of course, you need to know what you're doing, or you need to have a good salesperson. Wilson, a Wilson dealer that I already bought like 2 trailers from them, and they all Wilson. You see, it's 18-inch kingpin, and also the spec sheet looks like this. It's kind of like 2 or 3 pages, and then the price. Well, this is not. The price is too high here. You see, it says 13.3. That's the weight. This was done for a guy who wanted a low pro tires, and I'm not a big fan of low pro tires, and basically one thing because it's really hard to use them when you are loading from a dock, because you're so much shorter. And here's Wilson's website here, and they have 2 types of trailers: a Road Brute, which is combo, and Premier is all aluminum, right? And now if you look at the drop deck here, they have a little link called capacities. And one thing I noticed right away about Wilson trailers is that actually they're pretty weak. Okay, 80,000 pounds, that's cool, but if you look here at 53-foot long trailer, in 4 feet you can only take 42,000 pounds. Okay, he said that the dealer said if you add a third axle, then you kind of make your bridge shorter, so the front axle moves forward. So he says you should probably look at the 50-foot trailer capacities. But still, 45,000 in 4 feet or 49,000 in 10 feet, like how am I supposed to haul, let's say, 75, 80,000 pounds on a lower deck if okay, it supports 80,000 like maximum distributed, but a lot of loads are really compact. It can be 20 feet long and it can weigh 80,000 or 75,000, So then I looked at these cheap, relatively cheap Transcraft trailers, right? And they have these 3 types of drop decks: DTL 2100, which is just steel, and even this one, look, and in 10 feet it can support 60,000 pounds, right? Wilson was only good for 49, and these trailers are cheap. Of course they're heavier, but look, this is the weight with 2 axles, so you should add about 2,000 for the 3-axle trailer. Like this is for, I think it's for 53. This is DTL 2100, but then look at this one, DTL 3000, the same steel, but it's kind of like a severe duty trailer. It can support 85,000 in 10 feet. Of course it's heavier because it's better, it's like built stronger, and it's still all steel construction. And then they have this D-Eagle, which most guys go for because it's lightweight, and this is a combo trailer with I see aluminum floor. I think these are cross members actually, but the floor is aluminum, and I think the cross members are aluminum, but it's weaker than the DTL 3000. And I kind of like this one because this is really great, you know, to haul, you know, machinery and equipment. And you see they have these holes in the frame to make the trailer lighter, and I really like that. And so they sent me a spec. Uh, yeah, this is, by the way, the little booklet I downloaded here from the web. Yeah, this DTL 3000. See here at 85,000 in 10 feet. Yep. And then you can basically modify the floor. See, by like default is apatone, which is wood, kind of a very nice type of wood. But you can get aluminum. I wasn't sure if I could do that, so I sent a letter to this transcript dealer, and you see it's a couple of pages, and then they tell you, see the weight, that's the basic weight, and then it reduces or adds, like 3 axles adds 1970 pounds, right? And then see, it gives you all this detail, half of which you don't need to know. I mean, I don't want to know this, but then see, he just said here 40 feet kingpin to center axle and tridem, right? That's what I want. No toolboxes, no storage boxes, then 18-inch kingpin, 11-foot upper deck, 42 lower deck, and that's the price in Canada. 42,925, and actually that's US, and that's the weight. It's a bit heavier than the Wilson actually came out to be about 13,000. So it's only 1,000 pounds more, but it's about 3 grand cheaper than the Wilson, and it's more usable for a guy that wants to haul heavier loads. And that's my kind of main consideration. So I'm kind of leaning towards this transcraft. The wait time is much longer. Like Wilson can build a trailer like in 10 weeks. These guys take like 4 or 5 months because I guess they're so busy, because their trailers are more popular, I think. And that's what I wanted to say about step decks versus lowboy. So I think like for a kind of entry level trailer, for someone who wants to get into venture into this heavy haul, a triaxle drop deck actually is a better option than a lowboy, because as I mentioned in the beginning in part one, a 3-axle lowboy, it's just, you're not gonna be able to haul any serious loads. You will need extra axles, and then you're looking at like 200,000 or 300,000 bucks. Forget it. So and that's what I like about step decks. They're much more affordable. They're much more practical. And there you have it. So thanks for watching. This was Sergey Drachev in Cambridge, Ontario.